Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video I will be answering some FAQs about pregnancy basically. So question number one is, how did you and your partner react when you found out you were pregnant? We purchased a pregnancy test as you would, and I just thought to myself, do you know what? We've got the test here. Let me just take this test really quick because it's bothering me whether I am or whether I'm not. And at the time that I was actually doing the test, my partner was upstairs. I just remember glancing at the test and it was like 2 lines, which meant positive pregnancy test. And I looked at it, I looked at it again, and then I literally shouted up at my partner. I said, babe, you might want to, come downstairs right about now. He comes down, he checks the test, he realizes, oh wait, that's positive. We were both smiling at each other, we were like giving each other hugs and kisses, and that was it really. And it was just a really nice moment, but it was kind of an interesting moment because, as I say, we weren't physically talking and communicating verbally with each other, but we were like hugging each other and holding each other's hands and kissing each other and like smiling at each other. Our pregnancy tests that we purchased came in a pack of 3. So I took 2 of those pregnancy tests. I took one that morning, the first test, and then I took the second test the following morning, like really early. And because there was still a part of me that maybe didn't believe that I actually was pregnant, I actually had my partner take the 3rd and final pregnancy test. Obviously it came back negative. It was funny seeing him take a pregnancy test. I'll probably never see that again, but it was weird because there was very little verbal communication going on between the two of us, but it was really nice regardless. Question number 2 is, any ideas on a name? We actually picked names out that we both really liked months ago, like even before I actually fell pregnant. We would always talk and have discussions about baby names, and if we were to have a girl, what we would name her. If we were to have a boy, what we'd name him. And things like that. So it's always been like a topic of discussion really in the relationship. There were a couple of names that we liked for a girl and one main name that we both really liked for a boy. So the boy name that we chose was Harry. For a girl, we had 2 names that we quite liked, and one was Alice and the other was Ellie. And we actually do have a middle name picked out for both of those names, which was Rose. So it would either be Alice Rose or Ellie Rose. And for those who don't know, we recently found out that we are actually having a baby girl and we are going to name her Ellie Rose. And I've always said, actually for a long time, I've really loved the name Ellie. I like the name anyway, but then a certain video game, which I think you guys are all probably gonna guess which video game it is because it's a really obvious one. It's The Last of Us. And one of the main characters there is called Ellie. I just love her character and I love the name as well. So I've said for a good like 6-7 years that I would love to have a baby girl and name her Ellie. So we're going for Ellie Rose. That's the name we've actually picked out. Question number 3 is, when did we find out the gender of our child? We found out on Christmas Eve and it was super special. It was just a lovely little early Christmas present. To know that baby was okay. And do you know what, whether I was to have a girl or a boy, I'd have been happy. Question number 4, how did your mum react when you told her you were pregnant? She reacted better than I thought she would actually, but I think she handled it pretty well, so thanks a lot, mum. I was super nervous, but I knew that it was something that had to be done. I had to tell her. I couldn't hide this from her. And she was the very first person outside of like me and my partner that knew about the pregnancy. Next question, question number 5. Do you think you'll be a strict parent? I'm a big supporter of being firm but fair. Next question, what personality traits do you hope baby will have? I think that mine and my partner's child will have an interesting sense of humour, because I have an interesting sense of humour and my partner has an interesting sense of humour. So I think that humour will be a big part of baby's personality, and as she's growing older as well. I think that baby, or I hope that baby will grow up to be kind, gentle, respectful, supportive and understanding of situations. I want to raise a child that I am absolutely 100% proud of, and I know that I'll do my best to try and do that. Question number 7, what about looks? Well, the thing is, I'm kind of thinking blonde hair and blue eyes, because a lot of my family have blonde hair, blue eyes. I think I've shown baby pictures of myself here on this channel, but I used to have like bright blonde hair and obviously the blue eyes, and my partner was actually the same. He had like this platinum blonde hair and the bright blue eyes, and so I think possibly our child will have the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Obviously this is not really my natural colour. My natural hair is starting to peek out, and it's kind of like my natural hair colour is like an ashy blonde kind of colour, and the thing is, it's a very similar hair colour to my partner's. So I definitely feel like blonde hair and blue eyes is quite a high possibility on baby's looks. However, if she comes out and she's not blonde hair and blue eyed, I'm not gonna be mad. Like, it's not like something that is really all that important. As long as baby arrives like happy and healthy and everything's okay, that's all I can ask for really. There's certain things like height and stuff that we just don't know. I mean, my partner is quite tall, but I'm quite short. So I'm not quite sure whether baby's gonna be like quite tall or quite short like me, or maybe somewhere in between. Is there a birth method that you like the sound of and a birthing method that scares you? There is a birth method that I like the sound of, and that is a water birth. I was very much involved in swimming when I was younger, and I've always loved being in water and swimming. Apart from swimming in the sea though, that scares me a little bit. I don't like that, but I learned to swim. I spent years and years learning to swim as a child. Yeah, I think that could possibly be quite an interesting and very nice experience. However, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be allowed to have a water birth, because I'd have to have a lot of extra scans and tests just to keep making sure everything is okay. So a water birth unfortunately may not be possible for me, but if I can, I'm definitely going to put that down on my birth plan. And a method that scares me, a birthing method that really scares me, it's not so much a birthing method, I suppose, it's more of a pain relief technique, a pain relief method, and that is an epidural. Because of what has happened back in 2007 with my back, you guys all know I talk about it a lot here on this channel, it freaks me the hell out. So if you don't know what an epidural is, I'm probably not the best person to explain that to you, so you may want to go and look it up yourself. It's basically, an epidural is something that makes you numb from kind of like the waist down, and that helps in terms of pain during labour with contractions and whatnot. I've looked it up, and even before I fell pregnant, it's just something that has bothered me for a long time. And interestingly enough, because of what happened with my back all those years ago, and because I still have issues with my back, my midwife, they're actually referring me to some specialists who are going to look into whether an epidural will actually be safe and possible for me as a pain relief method during labour. Because at the moment they're not entirely sure if it's going to be safe for me to have an epidural. We'll just see, but that is something that really scares me. This is going to be the last question for today's video, and that is, how do you think having a child will affect your relationship? It's going to be hard, it's going to be hectic, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be absolutely insane, but we will do our best. I've spoke about this app here on my channel before, but it was an app that was recommended to me by like my midwife. It's called Baby Buddy, and basically that has a whole lot of stuff on there. It's like courses and videos and a lot of information and advice about not just baby stuff, but also stuff to do with your partner whilst you're pregnant and also after you give birth as well. I have done a lot of research about how to make sure the relationship stays strong during pregnancy and after pregnancy as well. There's a lot of information on the Baby Buddy app. It's a great app, I think. It does have some flaws, it's not completely perfect, but it's helped me a lot and I would recommend it to you guys. But there's a lot of stuff on there about how to deal with arguments, about the pressures of a newborn on a relationship, and it's very, very interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video because it's quite a long one. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you have any more questions about pregnancy that you want to ask me, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching once again. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave this video a big thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and I very much hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.